The real challenge is that for the most part we don't have a lot of Irish data sets that measure carbon sequestration or emissions, and for the most part when we're trying to assess at a national scale what our net carbon value is from agriculture, we're typically using default values or values based off of European studies. So it's not reflective of Irish agriculture because the data isn't measured from Irish agricultural systems. At the moment in the inventory, it estimates that managed mineral soils sequester about 0.1 of a tonne of carbon per hectare. But some of our long-term data from Johnstown Castle, which is a managed grassland for dairy production, has shown that the mean carbon sequestration rate is 6 times higher. This tower is called an eddy covariance tower, and this is one of 28 stations across Ireland that make up the National Agricultural Soil Carbon Observatory. So this is a phenomenal piece of infrastructure that's funded by DAFM. My work is involved in utilising this network in a recently funded project by DAFM called CAMS, or Measuring Carbon Sequestration on Agricultural Soils from Different Land Uses, Managements and Soil Types. And what we want to do in CAMS is take this NASCO infrastructure and generate Irish measured data sets of carbon stocks across different management intensities, across different soil types and land uses. This infrastructure, these 28 stations, are the biggest of its kind in the world. There's no other country that has a network this large. What we want to do at this site is measure this difference in carbon uptake and release from this particular management. So this is mineral grassland on a sheep grazing platform. We can look at real-time CO2 data that's coming in like right this minute. We can see the system responding to changes in the day, and from that it can tell us in a given half hour if the system is acting as a sink or a source of carbon. So what it's showing is that the system is quite productive in capturing carbon through photosynthesis. But what we see from the tower is maybe one part of that puzzle and one part of that story. So we can have grasslands that are quite productive from the results we see from the tower, but we also need to take into account how the grass is managed in terms of grazing and what proportion of that carbon in that grass is returned back to the soil. I think the work that we're doing will actually show the role that farmers are playing when it comes to managing their systems really well, to support climate change mitigation, and also to support Ireland in general in meeting its national emission targets.